Hello guys, welcome to the Train Parrot. It's 1st of October, it's a new month, we got new levels for CPR and we have to look at them because they can help us forecasting not just the potential direction of the price for the month of October, but also the magnitude of the movement. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the like, and the best thing that you can do for this channel is to watch the video until the very end and also leave a comment down below. That definitely helps the channel. So let's get into the content. These levels that are marked here with these 5 green arrows, I plot those levels when we were around 25th of September in a live stream. Those were my forecast for the levels of CPR of the month of October. You can see that it was pretty accurate, especially the levels of resistance and support levels 3, which I'm getting really good at forecasting them, which is extremely useful to know up front what is going to happen in October. Of course, everybody wants to know that. And if you are familiar with CPR, you probably know that CPR is not just a leading indicator in terms of the direction, but also in the magnitude. And what we are experiencing here in October is an extremely narrow CPR, and I'm gonna give you numbers so you get an objective interpretation of this. So how narrow is the CPR for October? It's 34% from support 3 to resistance 3, and that is even more narrow than what it was when we were in January. In January, let's measure it as well. This starts from here, 47%, so 34 versus 47. And what happened in January? Well, it got an explosive move, okay? And we came from below. Initially, we got rejected maybe once or twice below the white lines here. You can observe them there. And then once we conquer it, then we went all the way to the upside. And this move, if we measure it, interestingly, is proportional to the width of the monthly CPR. So we ended up the month at 40%, and the width of the CPR in that month was 43%. So just a 3% gap between the width of all the range of the CPR monthly and the move that we had. And that is quite expected from CPR to happen when you have a very narrow CPR. And this CPR is even more narrow. So if we did a movement that is also proportional to what we saw in January, and let's go first without thinking about the direction, just the magnitude. So if we do a move to the upside from where we started the month, which is in this candle at the bottom, and we did a move of 34%, that will take us to, let me see, so that will be around here, which is 36 point something K. That's incredible. So that will be if we get lucky like in January and we get that explosive move. To the downside, very quickly, 34% will take us, I remember it was something like 17K. Let's keep going down, and 34 is 17.6, 17.6, which is again outside the range of the CPR. Being outside the range of the monthly CPR is something that for Bitcoin happens every 2 years. So I will be a little bit discarding maybe the potential of being outside the range. Most of the traders expect the price to stick within the monthly range of the CPR. But if it happened like it happened here in January, then you know what to expect. You know, those extreme levels can happen, are possible, but are not very likely, especially when we already have them a few months ago in January. Now, in terms of the direction, let's focus on direction now. If we look at the CPR from closely, the levels of the pivots of October, you're going to notice that we haven't touched them yet. And that is what is called a virgin CPR monthly. So the price is going up and still doesn't touch it. If we look here, we didn't touch it either for a few, maybe a week or 10 days, and then eventually we went up and we touched it. So every single Virgin month CPR, eventually it touches the CPR, especially on the monthly time frame. You might see that if you put CPR on the 5 minutes, maybe in some occasions you do not touch the pivots, but on a monthly is extremely rare to not touch at least once the levels. You can see that every month, at the very least, with one candle, you touch the pivots. So expectations for October, first initial expectation is that the price should during the month touch at least once the pivots, and that will look maybe something like this, and coming here, maybe touching just 1, 2 pivots or 3 pivots. If we come there, that is the time where we need to put the most attention, because when you are in the pivots, the price is going to decide the direction for the month and the next month and even the third month. You could just read what's going on there and forecast what's coming for 3 months ahead. And how do we do that? So if we bounce from these pivots in an aggressive manner, like for example, we saw something here where we were bouncing very quickly on a pivot and we just touch it once, like here. We touched that, but almost immediately, and then you get another push to the upside. That effect of touching the pivot and reacting so quickly tells you a lot. Whereas if you see a pivot being broken and then it gets very slow to react, then you should expect then that it won't necessarily bounce to the upside in the month of October. And if we break below the pivots in October, and even worse, if we touch the first level of resistance at 25.4, I will expect some cloudy days for October and November. It's too early to say. We're just on the 1st of October. We will continue monitoring what's going on with the CPR. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, and I'll keep you updated with what's going on, especially when we start seeing some big moves. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.